Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another book look for you. This one was actually a request. The last book haul that I did, I told you about purchasing the Flatshare by Beth O'Leary, and someone asked if I could please make this into a book look. And I'm going to. Mind you, this is not my first attempt. This is tricky. This is kind of, I know it looks sky blue on camera, but this is actually sort of a mint green background with hot pink. And mint green and hot pink, they're kind of complementary colors because they're real close relations to true green and true red. And if you mix those two colors, you get brown. And so I was struggling and I was not happy with the look, but I'm back. I'm determined. I think I have too much makeup on my lips. I think that I can make this work. If I can't, this video will also go away and no one will be the wiser. So I also am really tired of doing book looks for books that I technically haven't read, and I wanted to be able to talk about the book all while I'm doing my makeup. So I went ahead and I read Flatshare, and I'm going to tell you guys about the book while telling you what I'm doing to my face, and hopefully it isn't a disaster. Scoot you over so I can keep an image of the cover here on the screen. There are different covers for this book. The other one doesn't really help me out at all. It's also a bunch of pastel colors. I don't wear pastel colors. The first reason is that I'm not a fan. I'm a very, I like bold, highly saturated, dark colors. And so pastels are not my thing. The game plan is to start with the orange or coral color in my crease, build that with the hot pink, darker pink, and then cut the inside of my crease. If you're unfamiliar with a cut crease, well, I don't do them because they're too time consuming and a pain, but I'm going to do them for you. Cut the inside of my crease and incorporate that mint green, and then blend those together with the violet color. Sure I am. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And I think that I have landed on an unnamed shade from this NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette in Phoenix. It is this color here, which looks really orange on camera. So that should be fun. I mean, it kind of looks like the color underneath the book on the cover. Eventually I will get into the details of the book, but right now I'm just freaking out a little bit, people. Just freaking out. I think I'm gonna go with, again, this color here. This color right here. This is the Moira Glow and Gleam palette, and that color is Twinkle. But I think this is what I'm going to use for the pink over the coral, or anyways. Okay, so the Flatshare is a story about Tiffy and Leon. Tiffy has recently broken up with her boyfriend and they live together, so she needs a place to live, preferably something affordable and convenient. That's perfect. That doesn't require too much upkeep, etc. You know, she's looking for the perfect arrangement. Leon happens to own a flat and he's looking for a roommate to help pay for that flat. He spends weekends with his girlfriend, just basically uses his flat as a place to sleep throughout the week, and the rent is too high for something that he doesn't enjoy very often. However, it's in a convenient location for him and it's a pretty decent flat. The catch is it is a one-bedroom flat. So whoever Leon finds to be a roommate with him is going to share his room, share his bed, which would be pretty awkward and disastrous for a lot of us, I think. Leon works second shift, so the plan is that he will find a roommate who works first shift, so that while he needs to be in the apartment sleeping, his roommate will be working, and when his roommate will be sleeping, he will be working. That's the idea. Pretty coral. That's coral. I don't ever wear this color. It's an unconventional arrangement, but you know what? They're decent folks. They can make it work, and they're both a little bit desperate too. They go a long time without actually meeting each other because of happenstance or fate stepping in, but he's held over at work, and so he has to send his girlfriend in his stead, and their only form of communication with each other are little notes, post-it notes, like, hey, please sleep on the left side of the bed, or hey, please pick up after yourself. And then those notes turn into something a bit more personal, where they're joking with each other via these notes, and they start to notice each other's habits. I'm not doing my makeup, I'm talking. They start to notice each other's habits and start reminding each other of things, and it just grows from there. This book is not what I expected. I believe that I originally heard about this book from My Reading is Odd, Natasha at My Reading is Odd, who I believe originally heard about this book from Chelsea at Chelsea Delling Reads. They both liked it. They both really enjoyed it. And for some reason, I was expecting like a romantic comedy. So this book wasn't what I expected. And I probably misinterpreted the things that Natasha and Chelsea had said about the book, but it just wasn't what I expected. So it's actually a way more serious than at first glance, than it first appears to be. And I don't mind that. Like, I've always praised Vi Keelan for her books having romantic... Wow. Holy cow. I got a lot of videos to film today, and this is distracting. I'm going to bring some of that orange back just to terrify myself quite so much. Holy cow. Okay. But anyways, I've always praised Vi Keelan for having romantic leads that were real people with real problems, and being able to seamlessly weave serious issues into her lighthearted romance books. And so the fact that Flatshare had some serious content didn't bother me. Without giving anything away, Leon has some family issues that Tiffy becomes aware of and then tries to help him with. And Tiffy starts to realize the longer she stays away from her ex-boyfriend that her ex-boyfriend was actually pretty abusive mentally to her. And so I just dabbed a little bit of concealer on my hand. I'm picking it up with a real flat brush, and we're gonna hopefully not screw this up. I might not be able to talk whilst I do this. Some of the conflicts seem a little far-fetched to me, and I think that's where my main issues with the book came into play. And I think the unexpected parts definitely had a right to be in the story and a place to be in the story, and I was happy to see them in the story. But then they weren't dealt with the way that I wanted them dealt with, I guess, and that's just me being super duper picky. I gotta let this dry. I did not do a great job with that. I don't do cut creases ever, so I'm not good at them. You should know that now. But I am going into this mint green right here. It's called Cute. This is a bad idea, trying to do two things at once. You know, the serious issues don't stay serious. I feel like they kind of take a couple of far-fetched left turns, and that downplays their seriousness, which in effect makes them feel out of place in this book. That's my one issue with it. And, you know, I mean, are Tiffy and Leon adorable? Absolutely. Is this a fun concept? Yes. Do I like this sort of trope? Yes. Two people who don't know each other well forced into some sort of intimate situation together. and then subsequently falling in love. Yes, I am there for that. I just think that it either needed to be more serious, which I am concerned at that point that the romance gets lost. You end up with something like The Last Letter when things start to get too serious in a romance novel. But I know that there are people out there who will probably appreciate one of the protagonists dealing with something like mental and emotional abuse. And I think that, yes, more romance novels need to get on board with that. They need to start acknowledging matters of consent and portraying healthy relationships, because that has been a little bit wanting. Not a little bit. That has been a lot. Yeah, that's pretty true to the bluish purple. I mean, all in all, I liked it. I don't think it's anything that I want to read again. It didn't, like, it was somewhere in the middle. Okay, so we know for a fact that I am an emotional reader. And this wasn't so feel good that I walked away feeling good, but it wasn't so serious and heavy that I felt sadness and a catharsis in that arena. There wasn't an emotion that this book satisfied for me. And so, I mean, ultimately, I'm probably going with something like 3.5 stars because I think it's good. I think it's written well. I think that it accomplishes great things from a social standpoint, has important topics and concepts in it. I just wasn't moved. That's, I think, what it is I wasn't moved by it. I'll have you know, for as loud and as weird as this might look, that this is 5 gazillion times better than my first attempt. But anyways, I would absolutely read another Beth O'Leary book. I would probably be a little bit picky about synopsis. I would read another Beth O'Leary book at the recommendation of someone who read this one, meaning they could compare it to this one and I would be able to judge whether or not I would like it more, if that makes any sense. I mean, do these eyes scream Arthurian fantasy to you? Because that's what else I'm talking about today. Kind of interesting. I don't know how much it reminds me of the Flatshare cover, but it reminds me of like something. Something's coming to mind. Just don't know what it is. We're not done. We're not done. Beth O'Leary did put some great side and support characters in her book, and I think that's always important. You know, who they associate with, how everybody treats everybody else. I mean, that's all pretty important stuff. That's what I always admired about Chris and Ashley, was the friendships in her books. What do you think that'll do to it? This has absolutely nothing to do with the cover. I just really want to use this color. So I'm gonna. Right here in the corner. Why did I put it on this finger? Why? Here I go with the blue again, after really telling you guys that, like, I don't really jive with blue. Here we are. Here we are. All right, and then I have... Okay, so I should have told you what I was doing. That was the color Magnetic from this BH Cosmetics Aurora Lights palette, which I have used before. In that same palette, there's also this color Australis, which is this. Or in BH Cosmetics Supernova palette, there is the color Pisces. I prefer Pisces, but I don't think that it goes with the cover as well as, what did I say it was? Australis? I want to say Australia, but it's Australis. Showing a bit more love for the mint green of the cover. You can definitely tell it in the real life. Not the video though. All right, I'm not gonna lie. For somebody who never wears blue, never wears coral, never wears hot pink, I don't hate this. And I can say that because I very much hated the first attempt. I need some inner corner love and some brow bone love. And I'm going to have to be real picky about that brow bone because this is insane. In this Aurora Lights palette, there is this white shimmer. It's called ombre. It might even be a bit of a duochrome, but that's okay. And I'm going to tell you why that's okay. Because if you'll notice in the cover, there is an overhead light shining down and changing the colors in the background of the book. What could possibly go wrong? As long as I have a good reason for using it, I mean, shouldn't I? I like that a lot. I think it blended really well. It looks better in person, like every look I do. I'm going to go within with that original brush with the coral on it and kind of like help it blend a little bit better for the camera's sake. I think it's blended in person. That camera though, she's hard to impress. For the under eye, I'm going to do pink and that purple-ish color, I believe. I'm not necessarily going to pick up more product unless I have to. I'm just going to use my pink brush from before. I don't know how I'm doing. I mean, I think I'm creating an okay eye look, but am I representing the cover very well? I definitely felt pressure to use all the colors of the cover in an eye look. I don't know why I felt that pressure, but I did. That might be my favorite color ever. That white ombre color. Like you can put that over anything and it looks super cool. Oh crap. I blinked. Doggone it. See that little black line? Oh. This will probably come as a shock to some of you, but I can be quite dramatic. Ah! I blinked. Luckily I hadn't done the other eye yet, so I don't think it'll be a big deal. I just hit myself with the end of the wand. You can't see it though. Good. We're done. This is my makeup interpretation of Flatshare by Beth O'Leary. Let me know how you think I did. Did I do it justice? Did I miss the mark? Thank you so much for requesting it. And if you know of any other books that you would like to see me turn into a makeup look, specifically an eye look, let me know down in the comment section below. I will leave links in the description box below for Natasha's video and Chelsea's video regarding the Flatshare. If you have any questions about the book, let me know. And if you've read it yourself, I'm interested to know your feelings about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon.